Hello my beautiful book besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv if you're new here, and in this video we are going to be reading some popular mystery thrillers together. Last year I started a series here on my channel of vlogs which only included one video. As you can tell, the series did not last very long. We are a big mood reader over here. So that video was just me doing like a taste test of Colleen Hoover books. And I have since then not continued this series of what I like to call the backlist takedown series. And basically what that includes is I just have books on my shelves that I've owned for forever, or books that I feel like me as a fantasy reader or someone that's been in the booktube community for 5 or 6 years now has not read, and I feel guilty about that. So basically I had planned to do this once a month last year, and clearly that didn't happen. So we're picking back up this series again this year, and it's definitely not going to be anything that's super consistent, but if I have a week where I don't have a lot going on, or I start a book, it's a backlist book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be so much fun to experience or just chat with people because I have a lot of thoughts, I'm just gonna do one of these vlogs. And what sparked this vlog specifically is this book right here. I started this book and it is like candy. This is an older young adult thriller backlist from 2013. I feel like some of the original booktubers back in the day were talking about this, but since they've gotten a cover redesign, they have since piqued my interest again. So I'm only a couple chapters into this and I was like, hold up, we have some thoughts. And I'm also just in a huge mystery thriller mood. They're easy, they're quick, the audios are usually like 3 or 4 hours, and I'm just in that mood to read something really fast paced. We're gonna be vlogging not only this book, but I did go to my shelves and I pulled a stack of mystery thrillers here, and we're not gonna be reading all of these or this video would be 2 hours long, but I am gonna show you what I pulled from my shelves. These books have been screaming at me for a long time now, so I figured we could kind of pick and choose and see what we're in the mood for. The first one that I have here is The Housemaid by Frieda McFadden, and I'm pretty sure we are going to be reading this one in this vlog because this won like the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I just keep seeing it everywhere. There's also a number 2 and 3 in this series, which has me very curious. I've never really read a mystery thriller series, so this and this is going to be something kind of completely new for me, but I think these two for sure we're going to be reading. I also have a Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. Truth be told, I actually haven't read a Stacey Willingham yet, and this one I know is like top tier peak, like everybody loves this one. Don't know much about it at all, but I am very curious about it for sure. I also have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, another mystery thriller author name I see constantly, but I've never read any of his books, but it does sound a little bit more domestic, which has me a little concerned. I also have Strange Sally Diamond, and this is a mystery thriller that came to my attention recently that's pretty backlisted. I feel like when it came out a lot of people were talking about this one, but my patrons were talking about it recently and telling me I had to read it. Like, it's one of the best thrillers they've ever read. So obviously I quickly added it to this list and I bought it. So what I'm thinking is we'll definitely read this one and this one because these are super popular, and I'm kind of leaning towards A Flicker in the Dark. Maybe we'll just go with all blue books for this one. Matches my shirt today. I think that's kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. So this one could be up in the air or switched out at some point, but for sure we will be reading these two in this video. But I thought what else would be fun is to kick off this vlog with a little bit of book shopping. I know you guys love book shopping. I love book shopping, and we can just browse the shelves together and see if there are any other backlist mystery thrillers that I didn't think of, or maybe that I want to add to this list or get or replace one of these books. I feel like this year is the year for me catching up on mystery thrillers, and I'm very excited about it. But for now, we're sticking with these 3, but let's go book shopping to kick off this video and just see if there's anything else I might be missing. is Monday night. I finally made it home from work. I have not cooked dinner yet. I'm exhausted. It's almost 6 o'clock, so we're gonna figure out something quick for dinner tonight because I am just so excited to get back into my book, and it's just been a really long past couple weeks. My workload has picked up significantly and I'm just really exhausted. But the good thing is it's still light outside and it's almost 6 p.m. and I am so excited for longer days because then I will have more time to film. But I do have a little Barnes & Noble and a little Target haul for you. This is not really that interesting from Target, but I thought I would share it with you anyways for any of you Target girlies out there because it's an addiction. I go in and I buy multiple things instead of the 2 things that I came in for. Going into this video, I honestly was just planning to binge the Natural series, and then I was like, you know what? I have been wanting this book for a very long time. I've read something by this author before and I didn't really love it. I actually kind of hated it, but The Villa by Rachel Hawkins has had me so intrigued, and reading the synopsis again in the bookstore, I had no idea, absolutely no idea that there's like Mary Shelley Frankenstein vibes in this, and also inspired by Fleetwood Mac and the Manson murders. Hello? This is the potential to get 5 stars from me, but I was debating between this and The Heiress, but the Mary Shelley thing sold me on this one. Plus this is in paperback now and I really didn't want to pay $30 for the hardback because we are trying to rein in this spending over here. But we're actually gonna read this in this vlog. I feel like Rachel Hawkins is super popular, so I feel like it will go really well with the theme of this vlog instead of just reading one series. Very excited about this. It does look very spring and I think this will fit perfectly with my mood right now. And then I have Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I have never heard of this author before, but I recently saw it was a book of the month pick, but then I saw on Abby Jimenez stories that she was just like, you guys, this is the book. It is 6 out of 5 stars. It is incredible. And I was like, well, okay then. And honestly, this is just perfect. Like, the colors are just so spring, and I don't know much about this, but it does say a surprise pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in this heartfelt, slow burn friends to lovers romance. Love Friends to Lovers. My friend Desi just put it on her stories saying it was phenomenal and actually life-changing. So this is definitely going to go on my spring TBR. Something about this is just already giving me those cozy, warm, fuzzy feelings. Okay, it is getting dark very quickly, so I'm going to make this fast. I did not get anything super groundbreaking from Target, but I just got some usual essentials. First of them being Claritin, because we live in the South, the pollen is crazy, I've had vertigo, I've had headaches, and it's awful. So I cannot go a day without these. I also got the Starbucks espresso roast for my Nespresso, and I usually get the blonde roast. It has a little bit more of like a light kind of caramel flavor. Of course, they were out of what I typically get, so I'm going to try this one, but it says molasses and caramelized sugar notes. I also got some packing tape for these Pango books we're about to put up tomorrow. I'm so excited to get all these books out of the way. I will probably get some good b-roll of me packing some of these up or taking pictures. Another thing that was sitting on the aisle that I had to splurge on is who cares about Halloween candy when there's Cadbury cream eggs? These are my kryptonite. I will love these until the day I die. The marshmallow fondant inside is just, oh, I could eat all of these right now and make myself so sick. I've loved them since I was a child. They're incredible. If you've never had them, try them. Okay, I don't know why I didn't turn the light on before. I apologize. It was super dark, but hopefully you guys can see me better now. But another thing that I've been wanting to get for a while because my nails have been a little nasty, but I don't have any more press-ons, is these Olive and June. These are the only kind I will ever buy. They last me 2 weeks or over, and these are really cute. They just have like little spring flowers. They're kind of nude, and I thought they were perfect for spring. And the last couple things that I have been wanting to try or have been looking for, one I did not find, but e.l.f. I use a ton of e.l.f. products. That's basically all I use on my face if you're ever wondering. But they have these lip oils that are super cute. It's like in the shape of a heart, and it's kind of like a plump oil, not really like a lip stain, but they were completely out except for the purple color, which I did not want to try. But I did find this super cute tiny little strawberry like tinted lip balm. When it's spring and summer, I like wearing bright things, so I wear a lot of more like natural looking makeup, so I'm excited to try this. And another thing I've been wanting to try is I'm typically like a powder girl when it comes to face stuff, powder blush, powder bronzer, powder highlighter, but I recently got into liquid highlighter and it's like life-changing. So I really wanted to try a liquid blush, and they had one more of this color. The color is Dusty Rose, and it's like a good peach middle ground. I'm excited to try these new products. I love e.l.f. I use them all the time, so if you guys are ever looking for something new, basically any of their stuff I've tried. I've used their liner since college. Their mascara is the only thing I haven't really tried. But anyways, I thought I would give you an official update on The Naturals and what I read last night. I got to almost page 100. I'm on chapter 12, so I read this much. Let me say, this is so addicting. Is it gonna be the best writing or story I've ever read? Probably not, but I've only seen a couple episodes of Criminal Minds, and it 100% reminds me of that. It also kind of reminds me of Bones, which I cannot remember. There's a goth kind of girl in that show. I think she works as like the mortician or something, but there's a girl named Leah in this book that reminds me of her so much. But basically all these kids are at like this academy. They don't have supernatural powers, but they just are very attentive. Like one guy can read your emotions. Our main character can read or figure out who someone is just by looking at their car. Another girl is super into statistics, but Cassie decided to join this academy because her mom has been missing for 5 years now. It's been a while. Her dad is in the military, I think overseas, and so she lives with her grandma. Her grandma was like begging her not to go, but she feels like she has to do this for her mom, which I think is super cool. So I'm assuming at the end of this book, or maybe at the end of the series, she'll reconnect with her mom, which I'm super excited to see. But for now, we're just setting up, learning the characters and all those different things. So I don't have too many thoughts yet, but I will say I can see myself buying the rest of the series and just binging it. But another thing that I really love is we get like these letters, I guess, at the end of every chapter, and they are from the perspective of a serial killer. So it's a little dark, it's a little creepy, but this definitely reads more mature YA. A lot of the characters don't annoy me except for one guy, Michael. He's the guy that can read emotions, and I don't know, something about him is just kind of annoying. He's like flirting with Cassie, and I'm like, okay, of course we have to fit in the YA romance. I'm just way more intrigued at this point about where this is gonna go, like with the serial killers. I am hoping to finish this tonight. I have 2.5 hours I think on the audio, and then I'm hoping tomorrow to pick up The Housemaid. I don't know what my prediction for this one is gonna be. I've heard this book does some things that a lot of other thrillers have done. I'm kind of going into it with low expectations. I don't want to say I'm like in my thriller era because I feel like that's kind of annoying to say. I don't know what set me off into reading thrillers other than the fact that I read Sally Hepworth's new book. It was phenomenal, 5 stars. I don't know what it is, but I'm just feeling the mood and taking you guys with me. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I have a reading update. like 4:30 p.m. I'm actually about to head out to go to my family's house. My mom made homemade pizza, which is the best thing ever. I actually have not tried her recipe of Chicago deep dish style pizza. I'm from Chicago and we don't have that here in the South, and I miss it so incredibly much, and she said it's really good, so I'm excited to try it. But I do have a pretty big reading update and a couple other fun things to share real quick. I finished The Naturals. I sped through this baby so quickly, and it was so, I don't even know how to describe this book, incredible, but like it wasn't 5 stars. The biggest thing in this that I didn't like was just the romance. But don't let that deter you from picking this one up, because this book has so much more to offer. It starts out really slow. It's a very slow build. By the end, it went completely off the rails. There was a lot darker things in here than I thought there was gonna be, and that is not a bad thing, because you guys know my biggest kind of thing with thrillers is sometimes with a young adult thriller, it doesn't go there. It doesn't like go the extra mile that I want it to, but this delivered. This completely went there. It was a lot. There wasn't really a big cliffhanger. There kind of is, but not anything that like I'm dying to read the second book, which I kind of like, because again, I was thinking about binging the whole series for this video, but this wrapped up fairly nicely to the point where I don't feel like I need to read the second one right away. But this was just very entertaining, kind of like your typical popcorn thriller. I loved how we followed our main character. You kind of follow her thought process and how she kind of figures out serial killers and the way they think for herself. And I just thought it was so fascinating. It was a very interesting take on your typical mystery thriller. I can now see why this is very highly rated, and also a lot of people have read this. So if you're just looking for like a 3-hour audio, something quick as like a palate cleanser in between other books, I would say this one is really fun. I don't think it's gonna go on like my favorites of all time, but I will say this is definitely worth the read, which I'm glad to know now, because I was very skeptical going in. Even the first half I was still like, okay, like this is fine, but once you get to the second half, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Taylor Adams, where like there's a lot of like blood and gore and kind of things happening at the end, and you kind of have whiplash, and there's multiple kind of like plot twists, which I really loved. This is a very slow burn, but this is very promising. If the rest of the series is like this, then I will definitely be reading it. I also started The Housemaid yesterday, and I am already 120 pages in. I totally get it. I totally understand why people like this so much, and I'm very happy that we're on a good streak here. I hope The Villa is also another book that keeps this streak going, but I am very happy that I've picked up these overhyped thrillers. I think subconsciously I've been scared of them because I know what I like in thrillers. I have my favorite thriller authors, and I'm just scared to kind of read from other authors for some reason. I just like to stick to what I know in thrillers, but this is so good. It's so good. It is more domestic. We have our main character who lives out of her car. She's been in prison for the last 8 or 10 years, and she somehow gets this job to be a housemaid for this very rich family. And the little girl is so spoiled, and the mom, Nina, she clearly has like a bipolar disorder or something where she can switch her personalities no problem. She'll forget that she says something like a day or a couple hours ago, and the way that she gaslights our main character Millie is so disgusting. It's so frustrating and anger inducing, and you feel for this girl because you just want the best for her and for her to just get on with her life and be able to move on from her past. But this family is making it very hard for her. And also another weird thing that's happening is their house is beautiful, but for whatever reason the room that they have Millie stay in has a lock on the outside and not on the inside, and it's also just like a really gross room. Like there's a bed and like a bookshelf, and that's it. Like it's just really odd. So I'm very skeptical of this family. Obviously there's some crazy things happening. I don't really know where this book is gonna go. I have heard from some people that Frieda McFadden has like plagiarized or basically taken the same plot of some other horror thriller or other thrillers. My knowledge of that is very little, so definitely don't like trust what I'm saying. But I personally think it's so cool that this author is a brain surgeon by day and she writes for patients by night. I think that's just so cool how someone can have two separate things and also like just have a really niche target audience, which makes sense why this writing is so easy to understand, and I personally just love it. I think that's super cool. Super loving this. I hope to finish it today at some point because I would really love to start the villa tomorrow. But another thing I wanted to unbox with you really quick is my friend Casey, who I talked about I think in my last video, from Forever Booked. She now makes Kindle charms. When she reached out to me, I had no idea Kindle charms were a thing. So if you guys don't know what that is, I'm about to show you and you guys need to go check out her shop. I wanted the Swifty one, of course. It just looked super cute. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh, this is adorable. Okay, first of all, I have a code, a rep code, liveslibrary10. So you guys can use that code if you want to go on her site, check out her stickers. I'll show some of her stickers on my Kindle here in a minute, but this is adorable. Do y'all see how cute this packaging is? Look at this little star bag. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have a new sticker that she just put out and it says book clubbing. Is that not so adorable? And then this is the Kindle charm, which basically just plugs into your charging port on your Kindle. And this one is the Swifty one. And I also love that it matches the sticker she gave me. That is so cute. Okay, so I have my Kindle and we're gonna try this together. I'm so excited. But also, if you see any of these Kindle stickers that you like, she also has these on her website. These are all from her. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Look, it just like dangles at the bottom. I love that. That's so much fun. I wonder who thinks of these things because honestly, I never would have thought of that, but it's so cute. She has like a little bow one. I'm trying to think what else, but I think she's selling like 4 different kinds right now. But you guys should definitely go check it out because this is like super high quality and I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. You probably did not notice, but y'all, I got a new computer. I set this up yesterday with my husband. It was a feat. It took a while, but I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's lit up because I've never had a computer with LED lights and it feels so fun and so cozy in here. Honestly, it's been distracting me from reading because I want to create like a whole cozy gamer kind of setup. I actually started a Pinterest board. I just want to get like a cork board and like some plants and some cute lights, and I don't know, I want to like establish a color scheme. I work from home a lot. I work at this space a lot. This is where I live and I just want to create like a fun, cute space that I adore and really enjoy being in, that makes me happy. I feel like greens and plants make me really happy, so that's kind of the scheme I want to go for. But I would love to over time just like collect things and then do a video on creating like a cozy desk setup. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know because right now it's like white wall above me and I have some artwork, but I don't have a lot of desk space, so I would like to start putting things on the wall. But I did just want to say thank you to all of you and my patrons real quick because getting a new computer has needed to happen for years. The one I had was like 8 or 9 years old. It was on its last leg. I can't stream and edit at the same time. It's been incredibly frustrating because there's certain days where the lag trying to get videos out just hinders me so much from even wanting to edit some days. Like it's that bad. But because of Patreon and because of some of you that have been here to support me from day one, this can happen and I can continue to create content that I love, and that means so incredibly much to me. You guys have no idea. So I just wanted to say thank you so much because it's kind of been an emotional roller coaster lately with technology, and I'm so glad I could finally pull the trigger on a new computer. Random side tangent, but I'm obsessed with it. It's so nice. I also want to get like an updated keyboard that's white and just more things that make this space brighter that I really love. More on that to come later, but I just had to say thank you guys so much for supporting me and being here. Anyways, we are gonna get back into the books. I have to run to my family's house tonight, do a game and pizza night, but hopefully I'll have some energy when I get back to finish this because I'm determined to know what happens to Millie and Nina. Okay, here she is, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. It looks so cool. It looks like a freaking disco party inside there. Like, I am obsessed. And my other computer, which is down here, was actually a lot bigger. It like came out to the very edge and it was a lot taller, and so it's nice to just have some extra space going on with my desk. And also, yes, I need a brand new mouse pad and so many updates around here. I just had to show you guys because you guys are part of this. You guys help support me financially and you were able to make this happen, and I love it and I'm obsessed. So I just had to show you guys the new computer, baby. Hi friends, I just got back from work. If I look hot and sweaty, it's because I am hot and sweaty. It is 75 degrees here today. Welcome to the South. It is March and I'm sweating so badly. I just brought a bunch of groceries inside and I am just, whew, we are tired, but I had to share with you guys. I will give you a reading update in a minute, but I have two things that are way more exciting. The first one is I got my book of the month, but what's even more exciting? It's my first ever Illumicrate box. I've been on the wait list since I think October, and Illumicrate and Fairy Loot are like my top two book boxes that I've always wanted. It's like a dream come true. I finally was taken off the wait list, and I will say the only downfall is I'm not particularly excited about this first book, but you are not allowed to skip your first month. I think you have like 4 skips in a year or something. I do know what the cover of this one looks like, but I don't know what the naked cover looks like, and I also don't know what the sprayed edges look like. I'm not necessarily excited about this one, but I am excited that it's my first Illumicrate box. Honestly, I hope that this is a book that is kind of like a hidden gem where not a lot of people are talking about it, but I would like to read it, and hopefully maybe it'll be like a favorite of the year or something. I don't even remember what it's about. How cute is this? It says a little inspiration for your day. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this book is kind of big. Ah! So it's To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. Ooh, the back says to cage a god is divine. To be divine is to rule. To rule is to destroy. This looks so creepy, y'all. I don't know why, but like, look at like the ribs on the front. That is just super creepy to me. Oh my gosh, these edges are insane. I think I'm gonna go ahead and open this actually. Okay, this is making me actually excited for this book. Wow. Here are the actual sprayed edges, y'all. That looks so cool. It looks like a stained glass window, and then the top is just like this really deep purple. Whoa, this is so cool. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at these end pages. Okay, this is actually making me really excited to read this now. I don't even know what the story is about, but look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the naked cover. Holy cow, that is so cool. I love it. Here's the spine. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, the end pages have different artwork, which is so cool, you guys. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Oh, and it's signed. I think all of their books come signed, actually. Look at her profile picture. Girl, get it. Wow, I cannot get enough of this. How cool. How cool. Okay, enough excitement about that. I literally cannot with the end pages. Now we have the good old book of the month. So, oh, I think I actually do remember now what was in this one. I'm super stoked about this box. I have skipped the past 2 or 3 months from book of the month. They just are not putting out anything good, and there are all these new fantasy authors and fantasy books being published with sprayed edges that are just way more worth the $30 than like a book of the month edition. Okay, this is a book I have been talking about before recently in my March TBR. It's an anticipated thriller called Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, about this girl who is accused of killing her best friend, but she also is confused if she actually did kill her best friend. So I don't know, it just sounds super good. I've heard there's like a podcast element. I've never read anything by this author before, but I am very excited. And if you are like a BFF member, they actually let you have a free book of the month finalist of the year, and the only one I haven't read or didn't already own is Shark Heart, a love story, which sounds really weird, about this guy who has a disease where he's turning into like an actual shark, and I've heard it's an emotional read. And honestly, I just love the color, like the green and the floral just reminds me of spring. So this was my choice and I'm really excited about it. I even love the green on the inside. And I'm here to tell you that I have a reading update that I read The Housemaid in 2 days. So that is why I did not really vlog or give you much of my thoughts. I think I was like 120 pages in last time, and I flew through this in one afternoon yesterday. This book was so good, and I was so nervous I wasn't gonna like it, but I came out giving it, I think, 4 or 4.5 stars, and I'm actually intrigued in continuing on with the mystery thriller series, but this was incredible. My heart was racing at one point. I was following pretty closely what I thought was gonna happen, and a lot of what I thought actually came true, but there was some good twists. Sometimes you read books and you realize, okay, this wasn't like the most groundbreaking story. Yeah, there was like some really great moments in the way the storytelling was told is what really made it, but sometimes the predictability of it just makes it more enjoyable because you're like, oh, I know what's happening next. I actually liked these characters, and I feel like in mystery thrillers a lot of the characters I don't like, I could care less about, they annoy me, they're just untrustworthy, but I actually felt for these characters, which I think had a lot to do with my enjoyment of this book as a whole. But I'm trying to articulate any other thoughts or feelings I had about this book without spoiling, and for me I feel like thrillers are the worst to try to vlog because you don't want to spoil, you don't want to put too many of your opinions into it, because I feel like thrillers are like the most polarizing genre, and I always thought it was better to go into them blind. Sometimes I don't even read the synopsis of thrillers, but I just went through so many emotions during this book, especially when we got to a second point of view. There's a lot of things that get confirmed that you might have been thinking that become true, and you just are so annoyed and angry at this person at the beginning, and then you finally understand, like, oh, I know why they are the way that they are now. It was a good emotional thriller. I never say that. Usually I'm here for a good plot twist, but this was emotional. It really was. So if you are looking for something fast-paced that again isn't like necessarily mind-blowing plot twist, but it's really well done, I'd really love to read The Inmate and Ward D. I love books that take place at a mental institute. It's just one of those tropes that kind of make it even creepier and more unsettling for me. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen, because we are on to the villa next. This is probably going to be my last book of this reading vlog. I kept this one last because this is the one I'm most scared I'm not going to like. I hope you guys enjoyed the update and especially this little unboxing. Very excited, monumental day for me. I feel like this is a dream come true that I'm now part of a limo crate, which is also why I'm cutting way back on just like my regular book buying, because even though these are not extremely expensive, I do feel like it is another subscription, so I am cutting back on my book buying. But anyways, let's just go ahead and dive into the villa because I cannot wait for that one. Welcome to the end of the vlog. We're gonna do a quick wrap up together, and hopefully he doesn't meow like crazy. Oh, I said no meowing. I finally finished the villa, and my correction was right in that I said this was going to be a 3-star. But knowing that this was a domestic thriller, I think was the right way to go into this, because I know I typically don't love them, but I was willing to give this one a shot. But clearly I didn't know anything about this book, because when we start out, we get our main character who's a cozy mystery writer. That aspect right there already hooked me. I loved that part of it. I loved that we had 2 best friends that were both writers that at one point wanted to write a book together, and then they just go on this trip. Our main character just recently got a divorce. They decided to go to Italy at a villa where there were murders back in the 70s, I believe. But this book reminded me so much of Daisy Jones. Our main character back in the past timeline named Mary, she even had red hair like Daisy did. She was always surrounded by musicians. Her fiance was a musician. Like, there was just so many different aspects of it, but they were basically like a band writing music together at this villa. And since Mary was a horror novelist, she reminded me of Mary Shelley. So that's where the Frankenstein vibes came in, because she was writing this horror novel. It ended up being the most popular, like, classic horror ever. And once I knew that was happening and there wasn't going to be any like crazy Frankenstein Einstein weird like science stuff going on. I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. I wish we could get a little bit more of that weird sciencey stuff, but I'll take it. But I honestly wanted more horror parts of the book because you had actual like parts of her book that she wrote in the story. So I love the mixed media. I also felt like Julia Whalen narrated this, and of course she's always amazing, so she brought the story to life and I was even more invested in it because of her voice acting. It's always phenomenal. I thought I had this all predicted and figured out, and I did. I actually predicted quite a bit of what was happening, but there was one twist at the end that I didn't see coming, which was a really nice touch. I actually thought about rating this 2.5 stars, but I was like, you know what, because of that twist and because this is more of like a feminine horror mystery novel, like once I knew what was happening, I was like, okay, I'm actually vibing with this. But what I really did not like in this book, which are things I feel like I've talked about here on my channel, is unlikable characters. Made dumb decisions, they hated each other, there was nothing great about them, they were just very prideful and annoying. Second of all, there was a trope that I despise that kept coming up in this book, and I hated it. I hate that trope whatsoever. I avoid it in all my romance books. If you know me well enough, you know what it is. This cover was very deceiving because I did get those Italian kind of summary vibes, but then we have a horror novel. It was just a weird, like, I couldn't really picture the setting type of book, and I just don't know how to feel about it. I definitely don't want to make her like a priority author anymore, but I did really enjoy this one. I flew through it so quickly, I didn't even have time to update you guys on it, so I feel like that says something in and of itself. So what did we learn in this video, friends? We learned that mystery thrillers are full of unlikable characters. There was unlikable characters in all of these stories, but I still managed to push through and enjoy the mystery thriller plot in and of itself. So what I'm finding out is mystery thrillers aren't really for you to get invested in the characters. It's not for you to relate to the characters. If I want that, I'm gonna read a romance or a fantasy. Most of the characters are unreliable. They're unreliable narrators. You can't trust them, so you're not gonna like them. Even if you do relate to them and get invested, you're probably gonna end up hating them by the end. So what I found out in this vlog is I can still read domestic thrillers and not like the characters and still enjoy a good domestic thriller. And I enjoyed this one the most. I think I'm gonna put this one at 4.5 on Goodreads. I've heard the second one is not as good, but I'll probably continue it. This one was a 4, so the hype was definitely good on this one. I trusted the hype and they didn't do me dirty this time. And this one was just okay, like I thought it was gonna be. So I guess I wasn't too let down by any of these books because I think I predicted all of them to be right, except for this one. This is the one that I thought I was gonna give a 3 and it was closer to a 5. And these were all a success in my eyes. So I hope you enjoyed experiencing or reading these books with me. Most of them, if not all of them, you guys have probably read before, but I just had such a fun time doing this. Anytime I pick up a book and I figure out, oh, I'm reading some books right now that all have a theme together. Oh, I'm really enjoying this one book. Let me see what other books I can pull to create a theme from other backlist books. So I'm hoping to continue this series, not completely drop it like I did last year, but it's just fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If there's another theme or books you want to see me read in my next video that are backlist, definitely don't hesitate to drop those in the comments below. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video.